Xavian is our new tank that we've added to the Fellowship hero roster, and as you can see, he's got a big two-handed sword and he's not afraid to use it. So let's go through some of the skills and abilities that you'll be using as Xavian as you tank your way through our game. So first up, we've got Xavian's first ability, which is called Sunstrike, and it's going to be a great filler since it stacks a debuff on enemies that, when consumed with his third ability, will give you back some much needed mana. More on that soon. Also, you can generate stacks of Swift Retrieval, which are a core element of Xavian's kit. Next up, we've got Blinding Slash, which is going to cleave and blind enemies. You'll see that enemies get a debuff, which is consumed after Xavian successfully parries, or the blind effect expires. And again, every time we use this ability, we've got more chances at generating Swift Retrieval stacks. Look a little bit closer and you'll see that my mana has been depleted by some abilities that you'll see in just a sec. But this is where Omni Strike is going to come in really handy. You'll remember back when we looked at our first ability, there are some stacks that are consumed by Omni Strike. And here we're going to see that we get given back mana that we're going to use for other parts of our toolkit while doing some cleave damage as well. Next up, we have Solar Blades, which will do damage to targets in an area, but it also does extra damage to the main target, making it still very usable for single target situations like bosses. You'll see here that we're also able to generate Swift Retrieval stacks, which means everything we've seen so far has been generating those stacks that we can use on our next ability, Brilliant Flash. Here you'll be able to spend a Swift Retrieval charge to instantly damage an enemy while healing yourself, or you can focus solely on healing yourself or an ally. But once all those Swift Retrieval stacks are used up, it's going to be a long 1.5 second cast to use your Brilliant Flare ability. Ideally, you wouldn't need to use this that much, but it can come in handy in some situations. I really hope you never have to find those out. Shining Halo is going to define where you want to take the fight, doing AoE damage to enemies and giving you 20% reduced damage for 12 seconds. Now this can be extended by each Brilliant Flash that you cast. Alright, so by now you're probably starting to get an idea of how this might all fit together. Very early on you'll unlock Solar Shield, which is going to cost some mana of course, but greatly reduce incoming damage. You can actually cast this on an ally in case one of your teammates thinks it's a good idea to pull threat, and of course you can cast it on yourself to make your healer very happy. We've then of course got our standard Taunt, as well as our Interrupt. We've then got Sky Crash, which is probably going to be how you find yourself entering fights a lot of the time. It'll do some AoE damage and you've got a couple of charges. Xavian's Spirit ability, Decree of the Sun, is going to turn you into an absolute tanking beast, making you damage immune for 3 seconds while dealing a big chunk of damage. Then you'll have a further 5 seconds of 50% damage reduction. All of this while healing your group every second for the duration. As you can see, Xavian's toolkit is unique from what's been possible in our game so far, and we can't wait to see all of your builds you develop with his talents, gear, and the legendaries that you'll be getting your hands on really soon. Now if only I could be so grossly incandescent. We'll see you all in Fellowship's pre-season 2. Alright, have fun!